Human beings may be the only species on this planet capable of comprehending scale while simultaneously resisting what scale reveals, because the universe keeps signaling the same thing over and over again. Human beings ain't the center of existence, yet many people still organize themselves as though humanity sits above nature, above the planet, above each other, and somehow above the very systems required for life itself. When you really sit with the scale of the universe, human certainty starts looking fragile. There are billions of galaxies. Billions. And inside many of those galaxies are billions of stars, many with their own planetary systems. So when people ask, was life on Earth a fluke? Was it an accident? Are we alone? The honest answer is we don't fully know. And uncertainty is difficult for human beings. Human beings have a strong tendency to fill gaps, create stories, assign meaning, establish certainty, and position ourselves at the center of existence. This happens at every scale in everyday conversations. Take, for example, the conversation around McDonald's. People say there ain't enough cattle in the world. McDonald's owns hospitals. They're using children. Because what's really happening there ain't investigation. It is human beings struggling with scale. McDonald's operates globally. The supply chains are massive. The agricultural systems are massive. The industrial systems are massive. When people stop comprehending the scale of something, many start filling the gaps emotionally instead of structurally. Now, uncertainty becomes conspiracy, complexity becomes mythology, scale becomes fear, and emotionally satisfying stories replace examination. That's the same pattern human beings repeat constantly at the scale of corporations, at the scale of society, at the scale of religion, at the scale of identity, and even at the scale of the universe. This is where many inherited structures start forming. Religion, hierarchy, chosenness, dominance, supremacy, assigned authority, positional identity, because certainty often feels safer than scale. Yet the universe keeps signaling something very different. The universe signals interdependence, adaptation, movement, participation, cycles, uncertainty, and relationship. This is why so many people struggle with science, cosmology, evolution, or even the possibility that humanity may simply be one evolving life form within a much larger unfolding universe. Because when human beings become decentered from the idea that humanity sits at the middle of everything, many inherited identity structures start destabilizing. Certainty weakens. Superiority narratives weaken. The need to dominate starts looking fragile. And this is where humanity really has to become honest with itself, because technological advancement does not automatically equal emotional development. Human beings advanced technology at extraordinary speed. We can live stream globally, launch satellites, develop acquired intelligence, map distant galaxies, communicate instantly across continents. Yet emotionally, many conversations still collapse into dominance, superiority, tribalism, hierarchy, projection, control, and positional thinking. That matters because a species can evolve technologically while remaining emotionally unstable. And social media exposes that instability constantly. Everybody is reacting. Everybody is performing certainty. Everybody is trying to position themselves as more valuable, more right, more dominant, more chosen, more intelligent, more deserving, more superior. And underneath all of it is still insecurity, struggling with uncertainty, scale, and the possibility that human beings may actually be a very small part of a much larger reality. Now, here's where things become important, because recognizing scale should not produce hopelessness. It should produce humility, reflection, responsibility, participation, care, reciprocity, balance. Because if life existing on Earth is rare, fragile, extraordinary, or statistically improbable in any way, then human beings have an even greater responsibility to organize ourselves more consciously. Our ancestors understood pieces of this long ago, not through technological dominance, through relational understanding. Peace, balance, harmony, structure, order, justice, reciprocity, participation. Yet somewhere along the way, dominant psychology interrupted relational organization. Now, human beings repeatedly organize themselves through hierarchy, superiority, control, ownership, competition, and positional identity. And then we wonder why society feels unstable. You can't build collective stability through perpetual dominance structures. It doesn't work. And flipping domination upside down doesn't solve the problem either. You cannot replace patriarchy with inverted supremacy and suddenly call it balance. It's still domination. The direction changed. The structure stayed. So the real opportunity in front of humanity is larger than winning arguments, performing identity, or positioning ourselves above one another. The opportunity is learning how to evolve emotionally, relationally, and collectively at the same pace we evolved technologically. Because right now, humanity's technology has advanced far beyond humanity's emotional maturity, and the consequences of that are becoming impossible to ignore.